Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of a show about basketball. My name is Grant. I am not joined by anyone else today. I want to give a little plan and a little layout as to what the show is going to be as far as the upcoming bubble. So basically, every day or every other day during the bubble, I'm going to put out an episode that's mostly Mavs centric, where I'll talk about the Mavs and talk about what the Mavs did right or wrong versus whoever they play. And I'll also touch on every other game that goes on that day because I plan on watching every single game. But I will get an episode about each and every Mavs game, playoff, or one of the 8 regular season games going for sure. Honestly, there's not much to talk about when it comes to the scrimmages for me, besides different lineups. And on my next episode, I believe is with Lauren Gunn, and I hope to have that up by Tuesday. We will be talking more about lineups and what we think the Mavs could be doing differently on that episode, which perfectly synchronizes with the Pacers versus Mavs. The Pacers will be without their best player, their all-star Sabonis, in the scrimmage, and probably for the rest of Orlando. As Woj tweeted on Friday, I believe, after his suspension, the ESPN was lifted, he tweeted that Sabonis had suffered a severe foot injury and that he'd be leaving the bubble to get treatment. They did say what the injury was, however, I have been sleepless, so I forgot exactly what it was, but it doesn't sound like doesn't sound too optimistic for him coming back in the bubble at least. On to some more garbage, some more stinky garbage. The New York Knicks have decided to go ahead and ink up Tom Thibodeau for the next 5 years to be their head coach. I saw a lot of people talking some major shit on Tom Thibodeau, and I don't really appreciate it. I don't really know why the disrespect was warranted either. I definitely understand RJ Barrett's gonna play 45 minutes a game, or Frank Ntilikina's gonna play 50 minutes a game. I understand the meme, I understand the joke. But as far as people saying young people be scared, or he's not a good player development guy, I don't really understand that because it's not true, like, even kind of. I mean, yeah, people can say he drove Derrick Rose into the ground, but I mean, Tom Thibodeau has no control over Derrick Rose's body. Only Derrick Rose does. Not saying either of them ever did any wrong. Yeah, I know playing 40 minutes a game every night, 82 games, and then in the playoffs can really take a toll on your body, but isn't that kind of what you sign up for? And if you want to, talk about player development, players seem to love Tom Thibodeau, especially the ones that play for him. Taj Gibson went to Minnesota after playing for the Bulls for Tom Thibodeau for years. Derrick Rose went to Minnesota after playing for Tom Thibodeau for years, had an MVP season under Tom Thibodeau. Joakim Noah won Defensive Player of the Year under Tom Thibodeau. The only real knock against Tom Thibodeau, and I don't even know if it's I know it's not Tom Thibodeau's fault, was the whole Minnesota fiasco. And I'm not going to name names, I think we all know who it was. Decided that making money and looking cool and having the best outfits and all that was more important to them than basketball, and that definitely showed. But Tom Thibodeau really didn't have much to do with the reason why Minnesota couldn't work out. I mean, the guy coached Minnesota to their first playoff berth in 15 years? And I mean, a 48-win 8th seed last night of the regular season type way. I think, getting off topic basically, But I don't really understand where the player development thing comes into play, because Tom Thibodeau coaching Frank Ntilikina sounds like exactly what Frank Ntilikina needs. Someone that will, sees Tom Thibodeau's a defensive guy, so he's gonna see Frank Ntilikina and be like, okay, you do all this perfectly. These are your intangibles. Let's work with this. Let's grow this instead of trying to turn Frank Ntilikina into something else. I don't know if you've kept up with much Knicks basketball the last 2 years. There's not much to keep up with. But the biggest problem was their inability to stagger minutes. And, I mean, they had their best player coming off the bench this year. The team had no direction. The team had no guidance. And now you're going to have a second-year R.J. Barrett with a real head coach, a real guy who knows how to coach players and make players better, i.e. Jimmy Butler. You're going to have guys like Dennis Smith Jr., who are really going to get an opportunity to play, or Kevin Knox, who are really going to get opportunities to play because their coaches probably didn't really try on them too hard, or maybe they weren't giving the effort to those coaches or that organization before. But Tom Thibodeau is no pushover. He's going to be able to see, okay, who wants to play basketball for me, who wants to play basketball for the Knicks. And those are the guys that are going to get minutes. So if you can't get minutes in a Tom Thibodeau system in this NBA, you probably don't really belong in the NBA. So yeah, I'm definitely not here for the Tom Thibodeau slander. I think it's great for the Knicks. I think it's okay for Tom Thibodeau. I don't think he'll be on the Knicks in 5 years. But I mean, and no one on the Knicks makes it 5 years, so I don't really think that's, fair to Tom Thibodeau. But I think essentially what he's going to be asked to do is come in, develop our young talent, make R.J. Barrett confident, help R.J. Barrett with his confidence. Mitch Robinson can be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate in the future if he's not gonna come off the bench ever again under Tom Thibodeau, because that's such a waste of talent. There wasn't much else out there either. Like, Kenny Atkinson was a name thrown around, but I mean, when you're comparing the two, it's really not even close. Tom Thibodeau, you take him 9 times out of 10, for me at least. And then Jason Kidd was a name that was thrown around. I don't believe that was actually facts or anything, mostly because the Knicks are rebuilding, completely, and developing players, developing talent. Jason Kidd's coaching grown men who want to win championships, and I don't think he's ever going to go a different way, because he did the whole player development thing in Milwaukee and got kicked out because he was treating the players bad. So I think Jason Kidd only wants to be around real professionals who are ready to win championships. And until a team like that has a vacancy in the head coaching job, I just don't think he'll be going anywhere else. So that basically only left like a few assistant coaches and Tom Thibodeau. And I mean, love him or hate him, Tom Thibodeau is perfect for the Knicks because neither cares about 3-pointers. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.